Now, China's getting into it very big right now. If you want to go after people, you're going to kill that industry, and it'll be very bad. Tremendous number of jobs. I campaigned positively on crypto, very openly. I campaigned. Biden campaigned against it. When Biden found out that I was getting like 100% of the crypto vote, which was a lot, he switched totally, and he went in favor of crypto. They went totally in favor. They had many people under indictment. They let them all go. They let them all go. You know that. Many people were under indictment. Biden was a corrupt president. Biden went all in on crypto at the very end because he thought he could get some votes. It didn't work. They voted for me. I want to make crypto great for America. That's the only thing. I don't want to have somebody else have crypto and have China be #1 in the world in crypto. Because in crypto, it's a kind of an industry where basically you're going to have #1 and you're not going to have a #2. And right now we're #1 by a long shot. I want to keep it that way. The same way we're #1 with AI, we're #1 with crypto. And I want to keep it that way.
You've probably heard the rumors by now. Trump's creating a new currency, a Trump dollar, a crypto to replace the US dollar. Let's clear something up right now. There is no official Trump-issued currency. But here's the truth most people are missing. You don't need a new currency for a currency shockwave to hit. All you need is uncertainty.
But the reality is the banking system in this country is absolutely antiquated. It doesn't work. It's costly. It's slow as hell. I would have never been in crypto had we not been debanked and deplatformed by absolutely everyone. If I wasn't getting the letters from Capital One saying, congratulations, 300 of your accounts are gone overnight, believe me, I wouldn't have found this industry. But this is an industry that within a year, everybody's going to be in. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, every bank, every consumer, because this is just the way of the future. And it's an honor to be part of it. And frankly, I'm glad my father's leading the way on it, because otherwise one of the other countries would get it. And I'm glad I look at the 401ks and I see how much they've gone up. And I'm glad I look at inflation and see how much it's gone down. I'm glad interest rates are going to come down. I mean, we're getting our country back.
Donald Trump has publicly said he would block a U.S. central bank digital currency, reduce Federal Reserve power, and push back against global financial control. To many people, that sounds like freedom. But markets don't run on feelings. They run on confidence. And the US dollar isn't backed by gold. It's backed by trust, predictability, and global belief.
Pretty obvious what the specter is that hangs over all of these business conversations that the Trump family is having.
Well, it's countries and it's businesses and private individuals. So countries for obvious reasons for policies like tariffs, businesses because also of tariffs and other regulations or indictments. So Igor Bobich tweeted that the Huffington Post reported that an international trucking logistics firm is buying as much as $20 million worth of President Trump's crypto coins to influence the administration's trade policy. And then you have indicted individuals, like including some of the people in crypto, but not just in crypto. If you were advising, I was actually joking with some white collar defense attorneys I know, and they actually didn't think it was a joke. I was like, I would quickly start donating or investing in, if you have a very high wealth individual who's under the threat of indictment, just start donating to all kind of Trump entities or investing in them. And that's the best strategy you could have to avoid indictment.
When powerful leaders signal major monetary change, even without passing a single law, confidence starts to crack. Foreign investors don't wait. Markets don't pause. They rebalance early. Prices move before policy ever does. That's the first unseen risk: psychological pressure on the dollar.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street.
The second risk is fragmentation. Cash versus digital. Traditional banks versus alternatives. Fed money versus something else. Whenever money becomes divided, everyday people feel it first. Confusion at checkout. Tighter credit. Sudden restrictions. History shows this clearly. When systems compete, the middle class gets squeezed.
Manu, you get it first every time. This is not fair.
Last week, you came here to these mics, and you were very critical of Joe Biden's use of the auto pen, his pardons. You said you didn't even know who he was pardoning. But last night on 60 Minutes, the president President Trump admitted to not knowing he pardoned a crypto billionaire who pleaded guilty to money laundering. Does that also concern you?
I don't know anything about that. I didn't see the interview. You have to ask the president about that. I'm not sure. Yes, ma'am.
Money works best when it's boring. The moment currency becomes political, branded, or tribal, volatility explodes. We've already seen the effects. Scam coins, reckless speculation, retirees chasing headlines. The danger isn't Trump. The danger is emotion replacing financial understanding.
Do you see a world with stimulus checks next year? I know that Trump and Bessent have spoken about it. Do you think it's coming?
They will buy anything to get through this midterm. It is the most important game because don't forget this government is backed by the technologists and they've said they need rates to go lower. And that's for two reasons. One, they want mortgages down. But the other reason is interest payments on the debt need to be at the same as GDP. I've talked about this a lot in the Everything Code. And GDP growth, let's say in 2026, maybe 3.5% or 3% or 2.5%, a trend rate of growth, take an average over time, and interest rates are too high still. So they have to jam interest rates lower, stimulate the housing market, then push liquidity into the system, which stimulates all of the market.
So the real question isn't, is there a new currency coming? It's this. What happens to you if the dollar becomes less stable? Because that doesn't require a new law. It only requires debt, division, and declining trust. And we already have all three.
This executive order is the fuck around and find out order, also known as the FAFO. This order is for everyone who fucked around and will now find out.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
This doesn't mean panic. It means preparation. Diversify what you depend on, income, skills, and systems. Hold some value outside fragile structures. Reduce unnecessary debt. Ignore political coins and viral fear trades. And above all, stay calm. There may never be a Trump currency, but the conversation itself is the warning. Because when belief changes before systems do, those who rely only on the system feel it first. And those who build self-reliance feel it last.